So when we look at our lives from where our journey started and where we have now reached at this point of time, and the kind of experiences that we have gone through, if we look back at that, then it is quite evident that things happen in our lives which are really beyond our control. And these experiences are something that we have not chosen, especially all those experiences where we've had heartbreaks, where we have experienced difficulties, where we have experienced setbacks, where we have experienced situations which were not so comfortable for us. These experiences have, if we look back, have made us grow, have made us become aware of the deeper side of the self, or we have become aware of the consciousness that is within us. And all these experiences that we've had have been necessary for our evolution and for our understanding of what we believe life to be at this point of time. So whoever we are, whatever we are, whatever we are feeling, it's a sum total of all the experiences that we have had in our life to this point, to this moment. So we are a sum of all our experiences, both the so-called good experiences, the ones that we like, the ones in which we were happy, the ones in which we were joyous, the ones in which we felt a sense of a joy, and even those experiences which, though we did not want them in our life, we were not seeking those experiences in our life, but we experienced unhappiness, pain, sorrow, suffering. Those also actually came to us uninvited, as unwelcome guests, because none of us is seeking unhappiness. Because by nature, inherently, we are embodiments of joy and happiness. Happiness is our essential basic nature, and that is why we are always seeking happy experiences, comfortable experiences, joyful experiences. Now we know this, we've heard this, we've experienced it in our lives, and so therefore we're constantly looking for this joy. But these so-called uncomfortable experiences also creep in from time to time, uninvited, as I said. But they hold a very deep meaning and a very deep purpose. It is the method of consciousness to make us realize that there is, first of all, something called as pain, because the appreciation of joy is only when there is an interval of pain. And as Swami says, happiness is an interval between two pains. when that ongoing experience of happiness is stopped, we call that as pain. But when we go into that moment of deep melancholy, is when we start reflecting. Because when life is moving smoothly, comfortably, joyously, we are so happy that we often neglect to stop, pause, and reflect upon our true essential nature. So, to give us these pauses, to give us these glorious moments of reflection, contemplation, and manana, is, is these events that the consciousness organizes beautifully as the complexity in the game, where we'll be forced to inquire, discriminate, and detach. Detachment is an important part of our evolution, and the consciousness slips in very playfully these moments or these events so as to make our awareness get sharper and more focused. Now, you would ask, why am I saying that life is a game? Because sorrow is sorrow, unhappiness is unhappiness. Unhappiness is something that we have experienced, whereas a game means that it must be fun, it must be joyous. And actually, a game is joyous. And the reason we like to either play a game or we like to watch a game is because we know at the end of the day whether we win or we lose. We know that it's a game. If we are playing a game, we are trying to win the game. If we are watching the game, then we've taken sides and we want our side to win, our team to win. So even if our team wins, then we are very happy. But that happiness lasts for a few hours only. And if our team loses, then also the sorrow also lasts for a night. So essentially, the idea of a game is that at the end of the game, whether you're playing or you're watching, we are happy. And even if we lose, we do not feel sad, except for a transitory, temporary setback. You do not feel unhappy. And the reason is that we are not invested in the game. We do not feel the heavy stakes in a game unless somebody is actually doing betting in that game and is putting some kind of a wager. Then perhaps if you lose, then you may have some kind of investment that you have lost. But otherwise, we know that games is not a serious business. Neither we are playing, nor we know the conditions. We are just a witness to the game and we enjoy the game. Now, how come this is applicable to our lives? So let's see what are the similarities between a game and life. Game is something that the others are playing, but you will say life we are playing. But so therefore the question is, are we really playing? Are we really the player in this game? And who are we? So if I were to be playing this game of life, then I should be in full control of this life. Then I should know, I should be able to practice it. I should be able to play it. I should be able to win it. I should be responsible for all that is happening in my life. It should be completely in my control because a player is able to play like that. But if I look at my life right from the moment when I took birth, my birth was not in my control. My upbringing, not in my control. My all my achievements, I might say, are in my control. I might want to add that. But all the pains and challenges and struggles that have come in my life are actually not in my control. I may think that my wealth and my family is in my control, but actually experience has taught us that it is not in my control, because we start losing our family members either due to death or due to separation. Wealth, we were understood, it's not constant, it comes, it goes, so that also is not in my control. So if nothing in the life is in my control, and if things seem to happen to me, and if at the end of life I don't even know if in the next moment I'm going to be alive or not, I have no guarantee that I'm going to wake up tomorrow or I'm going to be available in this body after some time. So that means even my life itself is not in control. Neither what experiences, what challenges, are going to come in front of me because of what's happening in the world, what's happening in my country, what's happening in my neighborhood, what's happening inside my body. I don't even know what's happening inside my body. So how can that be in my control? So if we look at the way our life has been structured, as a player, if I were to play this game, I would be in control of this game. But however, nothing that I'm engaged in at this point of time, even accumulating wealth, even accumulating joyful experiences, are not permanent, and everything is transitory, temporary, and whatever I have can in a minute disappear as the breath in this body stops. But yet, surprisingly, something is constantly keeping the experiences going. That from the time I wake up to the time that I sleep and I go through the experiences of uh, dreaming and deep sleep, there is something that is making things happen. And this cycle of ours has gone on for as long as our age is. So if we are 80 years old, then for 80 years, we've been waking up, and during the day, we've been doing, what's coming in front of us. We've been dealing with it. While we feel that we are in control, but actually there's nothing in our control. It's all being set up by some invisible hand or invisible consciousness that is making those things happen. So while it may not look as a game for me because I'm not in control, but for consciousness, you want to call it a god or you want to call it consciousness, it seems like a game. And since there is actually no stake for the creator or consciousness, it has been making this game go on from a perpetuity standpoint. It is an eternal game that's going on. It's just that new players keep coming and new players keep going, So it's a kind of a game in perpetuity that's happening. It's a game being played at, where we are not the captain and we are not the team owner, but there the team owner is there and it keeps, seeing us as a player. And since everything is so temporary and our experience has told us that all that we have held so strongly, all that we are attached to is something that is neither ours nor will it stay with us. It is temporary, it is transitory, and it is beyond our control. I know our egos don't like to hear this, but actually nothing is in our control except to experience the experience. And that also comes when our consciousness has awakened to the extent that we are able to see everything as an experience. But unlike a game that we watch or we participate in, we somehow are unable to experience the joy in this game. And this joy is primarily because this joy is lacking because we are unable to get out of this understanding that what we imagine to be as stakes are actually non-existential. It is like the Vedantic example of a rope being mistaken as snake. If nothing is in my control, and if nothing is going to remain with me, if I came empty-handed in this world, and if I am going to leave this world empty-handed, neither have I come with relationships, nor these relationships are going to stay with me. Like I am a child of consciousness, so is everybody a child of consciousness. Just because in the name and in the eyes of the society, we call them by certain names, like a mother, father, brother, sister, husband, wife, grandchild. These are all names given to relationships by the society. And there is a meaning attached to that. And that meaning starts to grow on us with tentacles and starts to control us and gets us attached. Similarly, our accomplishments, whether in the form of money, wealth, or whether in terms of our name, fame, they bring in attachments of ego, and this ego comes and brings in other desires, and those desires set in an avalanche of experiences, and each experience, the 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 idea of the experience or the experience goes on to make us bound and make us attached, and that the attachment is the cause of our not enjoying this game, knowing fully well that this game is not in our hands. You know, who you're going to meet, who's going to come in connection with you, what's then going to transpire, what are our experiences that are going to happen, are completely not in our hand. We call them coincidence, we call them by whatever name, you call them intuition, you call them by any name which you are not able to understand, which you are not able to explain. But things happen in our life. And when things happen in our life, and these happenings are not in our control, then that's exactly what a spectator feels when he watches a game. He knows the match is happening. The match is not in his or her control. It's just watching it, right? And yet it is enjoying it, whether their team is winning or losing, because, as I said, games are meant to be enjoyed. So if in life, everything that is coming and being presented to us in terms of joy and sorrow are actually being set up by the creator of this game, all we have to do is to learn how to play this game well, like a good player, and to experience joy in this game, to experience happiness in this game. That is what we need to understand. I won't say we need to learn this. We need to just simply understand this. Because once we understand that this life is nothing but a game, and the reason that we are feeling heavy right now, or we feel heavy at certain points of time, is only and only due to our ignorance, is due to our wrong understanding, is due to our attachments which come from wrong understanding, is due to our accomplishments and this sense of ego and doership, which comes from the sense that I am this body. It comes from wrong understanding. And that is what I mean when I say that a rope appears to us as a snake, whereas there is no snake. There is no cause of being unhappy. Whatever is going to happen is going to happen. Whatever is coming our way, if you learn, or if we learn how to say yes to life, then we are like a player who's taking everything as a challenge which has been set up by the opponent. In our case, the opponent is the creator or consciousness. And the whole idea of our opponent, so-called, which is the creator, is to bring in the opposing experience or the opposing challenge, only to make our consciousness grow and evolve to such a point that we do not see our opponent as an opponent. We see our opponent as a part of our own selves, which is only trying to awaken us to our true reality, that we are not different from this consciousness or from this creator. We are a part of this creation. We are a part of the creator, and we hold all the attributes and all the qualities of this creator. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. That is, I'm a part of this creation, which is a big one whole. And therefore, all the attributes of the creation are in me. And I am, to that extent, absolute, whole, and complete, because I am just a small part of that large creation. And when that understanding comes in, and when you start to see that everything is just a game, even birth and death is a game, because the creator cannot be born and the creator cannot die, because creation is, creator is. And when you become one with that creation, then you experience the creator. The experience, the experienced, and the experiencer are not different. So when this clarity comes into us, and this clarity also comes at the right and the most opportune time. Remember, it's a game. I mean, this game, everything is being introduced at the right time. If you're having a conversation today, it's part of the game. It's been set up for today, that we're going to play this role today. Who's going to come? Who's going to participate? It's all been set up. So why worry? Why, run after the senses? Why run towards those experiences which take us outside, when the creator, the creation, and the experience all lie within each one of us? Let's learn to play this game beautifully without trying to get bogged down by either the results of this game or the consequences of this game. And that is why it is said that spirituality is for the fearless, who has no fear of this body, who has understanding that I am above and beyond the mortal body. And only once that understanding sinks in, registers in us, truly when the game starts. Till that time, we are in the world of I am the doer, I am the body, it has a name. The sense of doership does not ever let us enjoy this game. The sense of doership will always continue to keep us in the throes of either joys or sorrow. It's only when you understand that the consciousness is playing this game, it's setting up this game for us, and we not only have a choice, we don't have a choice that we will not play the game. We have to play this game, but we have a choice of how we're going to play this game. Are we going to play this game by being happy or by being sorrowful? Happiness will come only when you understand that all the stakes are imaginary, are illusionary, and are creation of the mind. When we do not even know that in the next moment we are going to be breathing, then tell me, why should we have any kind of expectation out of life? Because as we said last time, life is here and now in this moment. There is only one truth, and the truth is in this moment. And if we are aware in this moment, and if we are completely conscious of this moment, and if we are absolutely present in this moment, and if we are happy in this moment, we've achieved the goal of life. Let's not run after some very fancy goal. What is the goal of life? Sat Chitanand. What is Sat? The truth about our existence beyond the body. What is the Chit? Chit is the awareness of this truth. What is Anand? Is when you are conscious of this awareness of your true reality. What comes is bliss. So in this moment, right now, for that is all what is there. Past has already gone past and future does not exist. It hasn't come. So in this moment, if I am fully aware, if I am fully focused, and if you are listening to me, not from your ears, but from your heart, then you are experiencing that joy, because words are not merely words. Words have an energy, and that energy is reaching to everyone who's hearing from the heart. So let us today decide that we are not only going to play this game, but we're going to enjoy this game. We're going to today take up all our stakes, let's say our attachments to all the people, right? Our attachments to objects and things, our expectations from people, and put them into a box. Okay? Let's say this is a wooden box, and we have put everything in this wooden box today, our attachments of people and of things, all our sense of accomplishment, and all our expectations out of the future and out of people. Let's put them today here into a box, a wooden box. Okay? And we today offer this wooden box in the fire of jnana. Okay? You remember there is the, the light of wisdom in the trikuti here, right above the third eye, as an equilateral triangle. And in that trikuti burns the fire of knowledge, the highest fire which purifies everything. Let's just offer this wooden box into the fire of knowledge. Okay? And as we do that, we see all our attachments, expectations have been burnt and have been cleansed. And our chitta is pure. And we are happy within. There is no sense of attachment. There is no stake in this life. I have lived a beautiful life. I have no more desires. I have served mankind, and I have been able to be of some use to other beings in this universe, I feel secure, satisfied, contented that I have lived a life of awareness and that I feel a deep peace within me and that I feel a contentment within me, that I am available in the presence of my consciousness for all those who energetically need me. I am but an insignificant contributor in this game of consciousness. As I experience this consciousness, I'm able to help, assist, inspire all those who seek to get connected with this consciousness. I am but a connector of consciousness. And I hope and pray that all of you at this point of time are experiencing this connection with the consciousness, which is the truth of who you are, which is the truth of being, which is the truth of consciousness. And may this experience bring joy in your life. And may you play this game of life and take every challenge and everything as an opportunity in your life. If you connect with the energies of the heart, you will be guided to what you must do. Do not look for any results. Do not have any particular thing in mind. Just deal with the situation the game is offering to you. You will be guided by the connection of the consciousness that you have made today, and let go of all expectations and just enjoy this moment. Enjoy this whole experience. This is such a beautiful time as the consciousness is expanding, as we are coming to that state of our being, as the energy is pouring out, as a renaissance of human consciousness is taking place. It's a game. It could have happened before. It could have happened, earlier. Why is it happening now? Because this is the time the consciousness has chosen to expand the awareness of consciousness. But time goes in eternity. And within that, there are segments, there are sections of this game. And we are coming to the most beautiful section of this game. When man becomes golden, when divinity awakens from a deep slumber, all the so-called pain and suffering and sorrow actually is an illusion. It's all unreal. It's all part of a divine drama or a play which has been set up to give birth to this moment where From the depth of chaos arises this light. As we say, the phoenix rises from the ashes. The ashes are what's happening to the outer world. The old world must go, which is full of ego, which is full of power, domination, control. The feminine aspect, the heart aspect, the love aspect is being awakened at this moment. And that is the creative life force which is taking birth and which is growing. So, my dear friends, be aware of this game. Play this game well. And remember to be joyous. Remember, know that there is something which is in control of this game. And if you learn that trick, that you are that something, you'll never be sad again. This joy will be permanent and will remain with you. I invite you to try this as we continue our journey together and play this game. So with that, I would like to thank all of you for being here. Gratitude to all of you and gratitude to the consciousness, to all the divine masters, to all the external gurus and the inner guru for having brought us together and for having given us this understanding and the ability to pass on this understanding and the experience. So with that, I'd like to close my talk and I would like to invite questions. Sairam, lots of love. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
One is at the mental level, mind level, and another at the physical level. And the aim of the game, and rather ultimately, what is required that the consciousness or the God we call it, who is within us, rather I'll say whole universe is within us. One end of the spectrum is the consciousness, pure consciousness. Other end of the spectrum is this physical body, which is changing. Every moment it is changing. It will dissolve into consciousness again come back into human form. But the game goes on at two levels. The aim of the, I'll say ultimate aim of the consciousness is that we do not play the game at the mind level. The game is played with the cosmic mind, not with the individual mind. See, that is ultimately unless we reach that stage that we play the game we operate from the cosmic mind, the game will continue. From eternity, it may be eternity, unless we improve to that extent that we start playing only from the cosmic level. Ultimately, we are just energy, mind creates some vibration. It interacts with the other vibrations and with the relations, with the people, with the object, with the nature, with the energy interacting. And it's a very complex interaction. I do not know whether it's should I call interaction or not. We may be interfering with the cosmic vibrations. So God is throwing the ball that every time you play the ball so that you cooperate only from the cosmic mind, not from the individual mind. That's sorry. I do not, my understanding like this.
Good, uncle. As long as, whichever way we connect to it, okay? And because ultimately we have to, each one of us has to, find that connection. So, and since we have to internalize it, which whatever helps you, but as long as we understand the principles behind it, words and languaging is not important. As I keep saying, experience is important. And when you experience it, words are superfluous. They just are, words will never do justice to what we are experiencing. And that's why love is so beautiful. It just reaches everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Somebody else would like to ask?
Sairam Bhaiya.
Sairam.
Just a sec. Sorry. My question is where that on one instance we say, we are part of the creation. We are the creator ourselves, and on the other end we say, we are getting experiences and we have no control over it. So I find both these things contradicting.
They are
so that
go on.
That's what my question is. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That question comes from it. Actually, there is no contradiction at all. The contradiction is only till the time the rope is seen as a snake. Okay. So that comes when we say that we are not in control, means we have never been aware. At that time we've been in the automatic mode where our consciousness has not become aware, and we are still operating out of that I am the doer. Okay. And actually those so-called experiences which we are which come uninvited to us actually help us to awaken to this consciousness. But once the consciousness is awakened, and once we understand that I am not the body but the consciousness which resides within me, and once I start to experience it, then suddenly I become the creator and I become in control. So you understand there is that difference. We are, as long as we are in body consciousness, is when we are suffering, and when there is pain, and when there is sorrow, and when we are not in control. But the instant my consciousness shifts is when my experiences also shift. And we have, in our satsangs only, in our sessions only, we've seen the power of that manifestation. And every time in every satsang, I give you, common examples of how this manifestation works. It seems as if, you operate in oneness with this consciousness, and things start happening at your will. And that's when you realize, oh my God, all this that the consciousness we had read, we had heard the masters talk about, we are now experiencing it ourselves. Because what has shifted? Our awareness has shifted. Consciousness was always there. We are not aware of it. It's like, when you're not tuned to the signal, you think the signal is not there. It's like in the night, when darkness falls, and I am sitting in a beautiful, mountainous region, and there are mountains and lakes around me. Just because I'm not able to see it because it's dark, can I say the mountains don't exist or the lake is not there? But as soon as in the morning, when the light comes and I'm able to see it, I say, oh, beautiful, this is amazing, what a view, right? In the night, you may be, paying 10,000 euros a night, for a view, but you're not getting the view. But come daylight, you were able to see everything. So that's exactly what's happening to us. This mode that I am not in control and I am the creator, the only thing that is, in between that is the expansion of my awareness.
Yeah, right there. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Chipra, it's such a beautiful game. I I am just encouraging all of you to start playing in it. Don't be, play it joyfully and play it to know that it's actually in indeed a very beautiful thing. And the more you start to experience it, you see, that is how that prataksha praman, that direct evidence, is so important. And as you start getting this direct evidence, you get encouraged. This is a path where every step leads you to your experience, because there is no destination. You see that the path of the experiencer is eternal. Bodies will come and go, but that experiencer, once it is awakened, it's always there. I tell you, it's so beautiful. I hope my joy is, I'm able to, transmit this joy to all of you. And somewhere in your heart, you're experiencing this joy. If you are, then this is the work of consciousness. This is how it operates. Let me ask, how many of you are experiencing this joy? Yes, no, maybe, come on.
I
Huh?
am there. Thank you.
Hey, raise hands, guys. Come on, don't be shy. Yeah, it comes. It has to. This is remember, we are doing nothing. So we can't fake this. It is for real. This is life. So stop thinking, stop getting your mind in the act. Get into the experience, and the experience will guide you on every step of the way. Every step of the way. You cannot go wrong. Leave your doubts behind. Leave all your hesitations. Leave all the darkness that the mind has created. Step into the light. Step into your light. I keep saying, step into your light. Because the time of light has come. Before this, there was a struggle. Before this, it was challenging. But now the time has come. And it's happening. You want to participate and dance in this party? You're welcome to do that. And you want to cage yourself and stop yourself? That too is your choice. I would say, let's dance and let's play. Are you all for it?
Yeah. Certainly we are.
Yes.
Yes, we are.
Good. Yes. Somebody else? Anyone else? Or should we close the session today? Okay. Since I don't hear anyone else talking, then I will also shut up. And I want to thank all of you, and I love you all. Have a beautiful, blessed evening. And the ones who are in a day zone, they should have a good day. And meet you next time on the call. But stay connected. Let's be in oneness. Okay? Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta loka sukhino bhavantu. Samasta loka sukhino bhavantu. Samasta loka sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.